Welcome to the second part of my Dorico tutorial. So in this part of the video, we'll look at some orchestral music features. I'm just gonna get right on with it. So here I'm working with all the staves open to have maximum control of the music. But when doing the engraving, preparing the score, there's a super cool feature based on nice algorithms that Dorico introduced a couple of months ago. It's called condensing. It can be called from here or using a key command. The computer will do a bit of calculation, and here we go. As you see, flutes, oboes, clarinets, bassoons, horns, trombones combine to share the same stave wherever it's possible or suitable according to Dorico's calculations. It'll add the A2s automatically or 1 and 2s wherever possible. I think this is such a great feature and also a time saver. There would be a ton to say about this feature alone, but for now I'll leave it at this. Let's go to another project. This is orchestration on a piece by Ravel, and here I'm going to show you how I make cues with Dorico. So making cues is pretty simple. It's also actually pretty cool, and cues really help the musicians, and I like to place them wherever it's necessary. I'll add a little too many cues instead of adding too little cues, but let's go and call the cue function and also use this cue helper, and Dorico will automatically tell me where there are some danger spots where the musicians have had a long rest. With this music, the situation is a bit different. The tempo is so slow, but you know, Dorico shows all of these places where it could be good to have a cue for the players. It's based on that the players have been resting for 30 seconds. You can of course alter all of these. You can use rehearsal marks or other cues, but I think this works pretty nicely. So let's add a cue for the trombone player, and it's done like this. So I'll make the selection of these places. I'll press create cue, and then I'll have a new popover above the trombone section. Here I can choose all the instruments that are playing and assign a cue according to that. I think the first violin's melody is gonna work pretty nicely for the trombone. So if we then go to parts, we can see that the cue I just assigned can be found here as these small notes. And if I'd like to alter some of the parameters of the cue, for instance the clef, it's done through properties. You could also alter the text or the placement of the text. So there's tons of things you can do, but the main task is very simple. Then let's go on to adding your own articulations and group dynamics. So if I'd like to add an articulation, I'll call for articulation popover through Shift plus P, or from here. And then, you know, there's a lot of different things. But if I'd like to have a metal mute, for instance, I don't know if you can use a metal mute for horn, but let's just try. Metal mute, there is no metal mute, nothing happens. So we could go to articulations and add our own to the list of known articulations by Dorico. I'll just name it metal mute, and that's the name. I'll add it to the brass category, and I think it should be done. You can also do some graphical things, but let's get to that another time. So now I have the metal mute available up here, or I can call for it through the popover, metal mute. It's done. And Dorico also introduces linked dynamics for all of these horns to make sure that they have the same dynamics over or under the same notes, you can have them linked. And as you see, once I move the P over by dragging or by key commands, the P moves in all of these, the piano moves in all of these voices. You can also unlink by making a selection of the dynamic and pressing unlink. And I can do whatever with this. So here's just a short rundown on some great features that helped me last week while composing my orchestra piece. Thank you for watching and see you next time.